This foot-obsessed Florida man was just arrested for aggravated assault after running over a foot model's, you guessed it, feet. I can't say this is a video I was expecting to make, but here we are. Well, this guy from Miami allegedly ran over a woman with his Mercedes-Benz SUV, all because she wouldn't let him smell her feet. Okay, dude. And look, I've heard of bad first dates. Ghosting, sure. Splitting the bill, awkward, but also kind of classic. But you wouldn't let me sniff your feet, so I'm going to run over your feet with my Benz truck. That's a new one for me. So meet El Monte Circle. I think that's how you say that name. A 28-year-old Florida man who in reality would fit way better on My Strange Addictions than here on this channel, but because he did something so incredibly stupid, I guess he can just join the ranks of a whole bunch of fascinating individuals and be featured here on this channel. So congratulations and welcome. But all of this started off with him linking up with a woman on a dating app called Seeking. He invited her back to a hotel, and I guess she accepted and came along, and within 10 minutes, managed to turn this vibe from kind of weird to a crime scene, because dude didn't make it past the "so what do you do for work" stage before whipping out, "Hey, can I smell your feet and buy your smelly sneakers, please?" I'm not joking, that's an alleged quote from him. So the woman, who happened to be a self-described foot model, told him, yeah, okay, that'll be $1,000, which sounds extremely expensive to me. And I guess he thought so too. But what he clearly didn't calculate was the cost of lawyer fees for aggravated battery, because that's way more expensive. But she goes to the bathroom, probably to think over her life choices, and Emolsi, I guess he just bolts. So he runs out of the room like a dude who just got caught watching Feet Finder on his hotel Wi-Fi. She chases him out into the parking lot thinking that he might have stolen something, and this is where it suddenly becomes the Fast and Furious. Yeah, I'll see myself out after that one. But unfortunately, I've only just started the breakdown, and already we have a date that turned into a ban-level foot transaction. But after the foot model chases El Monte, he gets into his red Mercedes SUV and drives past her like he's leaving. But then, I guess he changes his mind and does a perfect three-point turn, comes back towards her, and runs over her feet. So I guess he was just offended by her pricing, maybe? But also, they were on a literal date. So this could have been free if he just wasn't such a degenerate. But hey, I guess massive win for that woman, because at least she dodged that. Well, not the car, but at least the relationship, because she did end up with road rash, bruises, and injuries across her arms, chest, and back. El Monte, knowing what he just did, floors it, takes off, but here's where things get even dumber, because for some reason, he comes back to the same hotel only days later to book another room. I mean, that is almost as stupid as robbing a bank, then opening a checking account with them just a few days later. Hello? Of course the cops are gonna get called. So naturally he gets arrested, slapped with aggravated battery charges, and now has to explain to a judge why his foot obsession escalated into a hit and run. And his bond was set to $3,000, which ironically would be 3 toe sniffing sessions at his last victim's rates.
Sir, would you tell me your name?
Almonsi Circle.
Good afternoon, sir. This is case number F25-18759. You're charged with aggravated battery, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison.
I really hope that long pause there was him reflecting on the potential 15-year charge versus what actually got him there in the first place. Because, dude, bad decision-making doesn't even begin to cover what we're just talking about here today.
I find probable cause. He's got an open petty theft. Is that correct?
Yes, he came in on a bench from petty theft. He was given a $1 bond.
All right, I'll set the bond at $3,000 after finding probable cause and a stay-away order from the alleged victim. Good luck to you, sir.
A $3,000 bond after already having a previous charge, no matter how small, is honestly letting him off very easy here. The woman actually told Local 10, I've met a lot of people who are into feet, but nobody has ever done anything to this caliber. Yeah, hopefully that's not a normal reaction to her pricing. I feel like what she means with that, though, is that she's sold shoes to weirdos before, but this is the first time one of them has tried to run over her with a Benz truck rather than just Venmoing her. And here's where it gets spooky, because police say that he's actually linked to other similar attacks, but no official charges have surfaced. So basically, all we have on him is the police saying that he's done similar stuff, but if you look up his record, nothing actually shows. So, as of now, we have an alleged foot bandit, which is a little bit confusing because it could mean a lot of different things. The scale of weird can really vary here. Like, does the cops mean they have other women here going, yeah, that guy, I dated him and he was trying to buy my shoes and then he ended up hitting me with a car as well? Like, what? How is this a common thing? Or who knows? It could just be something like he's a mod on WikiFeed or something like that, because that should be enough to put you on a list. But if you didn't catch it from the hearing clip, El Monsi's charges is essentially aggravated battery. Now, in Florida law, that's basically battery, but make it premium. That's like pack-a-punched battery. Regular battery is just touching or striking someone against their will. So I guess a bar fight or a slap or something like that. Whereas aggravated battery is the leveled up version. Like, for example, if you use a deadly weapon, and yes, a Mercedes counts as a deadly weapon. So with that being a felony, that means that prison time is definitely on the menu here. We're not talking community service or write an apology letter. We're talking about up to 15 years in Florida prison with fines up to $10,000. So imagine explaining to your cellmate, hey, what are you in for? Bank robbery. What about you? I hit a girl with my car because she wouldn't let me sniff her toes. Yeah, have fun with that. His best case, if he pleads it down, gets some probation, maybe house arrest, and he has to stay far away from the victim and probably every shoe store within a 10-mile radius. But if he does do a couple years in prison, every dude he'll meet in there will probably know him as the foot guy. But I guess the worst case, if the court actually throws the book at him, max sentence, and his dating app future is the guy with size 11 feet in the next cell. And keep in mind, police hinted that he's linked to other similar incidents, so I mean, if any of these people get attached as patterns of behavior, he could be staring down way more counts. But again, I have no clue on that one because there's no official record of these previous incidents. So El Monsi's future is either writing "sorry for this misunderstanding" letters from the halfway house, or just becoming a cautionary tale of don't let what you're absolutely into ruin your life and give you some felonies, because that's absolutely not worth it. Because look, I don't care if you like feet, that's your business, but if you can't handle rejection without turning it into some Mario Kart with human obstacles, that's when you know you've definitely crossed the line. But something about feet just seems to make guys turn into this next level of crazy. Like, you have this Tahoe foot fondler who went viral. And yes, I'm well aware that sounds like some sort of rejected Batman villain. But picture this, you've dropped some serious money to stay at a luxury resort in Lake Tahoe for the 4th of July. You're thinking fireworks, lake views, and maybe a poolside cocktail. What you're not thinking is, hey, I bet that some dude is gonna sneak in at 4:30 in the morning and start touching up on our feet. Because apparently that was the reality for some very unfortunate guests there. Police say the culprit was a 26-year-old Mark Anthony Gonzalez, now forever branded as the Lake Tahoe foot fondler. Here's how Gonzalez allegedly operated. He scoped out ground floor rooms with unlocked sliding doors, crawled inside like a burglar who skipped all the useful classes, and then instead of stealing valuables, went straight to the feet. And according to investigators, he literally positioned himself at the foot of the bed and started touching the victim's feet. And then the moment the women woke up, he bolted. So now, cops in Nevada say that this guy's crime spree is not even an isolated situation, because back home in California, he was already suspected of trespassing and stealing women's shoes. Authorities even say that his crimes were escalating in nature, meaning this wasn't going to stop at toe tickling. And here's the kicker. He managed to pull this off twice over the holiday weekend, all while law enforcement had actually beefed up their patrols. So you definitely know you've gone full menace to society when cops flood a resort town for the 4th of July and somehow you're still managing to sneak past them just to cradle some feet. Gonzalez is sitting in county jail on burglary and battery charges, waiting for extradition back to Nevada, where his bail is being set at $50,000. Oh, and if you think I just happened to stumble across 2 random cases involving feet to talk about, no, both of these cases happened in the same month. Now recently. Yeah. They just happened. I can't believe this. What's wrong with people? El Monsi's case in particular also shows the risk of online meetups, because dating apps already have enough red flags. Now we have to worry about, will this guy run over my feet if I refuse to sell shoes to him? Or even worse, if he refuses the $1,000 price tag of sniffing some feet and buying shoes. Come on, guys. This is just so ridiculous. Why is this a real thing that I'm covering? Bottom line, El Monsi's circle, he was into feet and he somehow turned it into a felony. The victim is thankfully alive and the rest of us are just left asking, why? You had a Mercedes. You could have just gone to Foot Locker like a normal person and bought some shoes and get into a relationship like a normal person, and then I guess you could sniff that person's shoes. But the key point is getting into a consensual relationship first. But I guess if you're a turbo freak, it's not that easy. So if convicted, El Monsi might just be sniffing feet again, but in prison showers. But other than that, hey, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.